Well, I believe, this is a time for us in the great city of Newark to have more women representation in the leadership of this city and the Newark Municipal Council in particular. I'm very proud to have supported Ms. Shanique Spates, African-American woman who's been elected and re-elected to our Newark Public Schools Advisory Board. She's the mother of 5. Her and her husband are very involved in the Central Ward Democratic Party. Her husband's actually the chairman. And Shanique is someone that has strong ties in the Central Ward community and has served, that community for quite some time. Well, I believe the 4 individuals that are objecting to this actually had their own candidate that they wanted to bring up the same way that Ms. Spates was introduced as a candidate. And I think, they were upset because, John Sharp James was not selected as the replacement for Donald Payne Jr. We followed the advice of the clerk in our council in introducing Ms. Spates as a candidate. The reason why, many council members decided to leave, the dais and walk into the crowd, I can't answer that. But I know we followed the advice of our clerk and council.
When you talk your response to that?
Based on the response we received from the clerk and the Corporation Council, the mayor does have the right in this situation to come in and cast a tie-breaking vote on behalf of a candidate who's filling vacancy. I think so. If you look at the individuals that were at the council meeting yesterday in the audience, many of them were there with the expectation that the candidacy of the individual that was not successful was going to be presented at the council meeting last night. So there were meetings and discussions held in order to prepare to nominate someone at the first meeting where that nomination was possible, and that was last night. And there were John Sharp James was one candidate, and Shanique Spates was actually the candidate that was put on the floor and received the necessary number of votes. I support Shanique Spates because I believe the council needs more qualified women representation. And secondly, she's someone that's been elected at a local level and re-elected. I can't answer about what happened in the past, but I can tell you that in the case of a vacancy, the council does have, the authority to fill that vacancy. And there is no law in the state of New Jersey which regulates municipalities to consider the next highest vote getter. We have a lot of discretion in terms of who we can appoint to fill that vacancy. And in this case, a number of us on the council felt that we needed to have more qualified women representing us. Let me just say that Ms. Spates had set up a meeting and met with me and expressed her interest in filling that vacancy. I was one of 4 on the council to support her. I can't answer or attest to the fact whether or not she reached out to the other council members, but once I interviewed and met with her and I had worked with her in the past, I was very confident that she was a good candidate.